You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next, the April 12th meeting of the LaPorte County Drainage Board. You can find information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Okay, Joe Kusan,
Here.
Hugh Glasgow,
Here.
Sarah Hefner,
Here.
Tony Hendricks, not here, Rich Mrozinski, Steve Mrozinski,
Here.
Brad Adamski.
Here.
Yes, can you hear us? We can hear you. Okay, thank you. All right, I don't know where Tony is.
Do we have a motion to approve last month's minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Sheldon Arm.
Okay, that is an application we received from NiceHorse. They are going to do a relocate approximately 360 feet of plastic pipe under the Sheldon Arm along Hunsley Road in Hannah to rectify above ground gas crossing. So it's basically work they're doing over the Sheldon Arm of the Hunsley ditch, and work is going to start. Actually, they have 4/11 yesterday, a start date and completion date of 4/30/22. So here's plans attached to that app if you guys want to look at it.
Didn't we okay that the last meeting?
It was a different one.
Okay.
We did a NIPSCO poll on Cook Ditch last month, I think.
So I just gotta ask, are they gonna be 4 feet below the level of the ditch?
You'll have to look on that, on those plans. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I have binoculars.
Yeah.
Read this thing. 4 foot. 4 foot, right?
Steve, what's happening in here?
No,
Workers' comp hearings.
that's up here. Doesn't really say. We could pass it with them saying having at least 4 foot. Doesn't really say on here. Doesn't really say in the bid or in the
What does it say on there?
not that we've seen.
Well, it looks like a direct bore, so they can hold that depth whatever they want.
Well, I can email them back and find out if we need to.
Yeah, it really doesn't say. Yeah, if you want to check with that to make sure.
Okay.
Well, I move that we accept it with the caveat that they're gonna be 4 feet below the bottom of the ditch.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Yeah, because I don't see any 4 foot on there anyway.
Okay. I'll find out.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it for that.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to monthly reports. Hudson Lake?
Hi, Georgette Joyce, 7299 East Hudson Point Lane, New Carlisle. And so as I mentioned last meeting, we did get the approval for the grants for the treating invasive species and hope to get the grant for the dredging next year. I did send a note to David Nance about the DNR lead to ask about the drain management and still have not heard anything. I don't think you have either, Christine.
I saw that your email come through last night, but I have not checked email yet this morning.
Okay.
So I'm not.
Well, he hadn't, but I had reached out earlier. That was just a reminder last night.
Yeah.
And then the sewer project for Saguenay and Hudson Lake, they did submit the PER for the grant. And they have a public meeting, I think, the first week in May, maybe May 5th. Don't quote me because I wasn't able to confirm that in the evening. And that's an informational, educational meeting. And the lake looks good. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Okay, Brad Adamski, attorney report.
No attorney report this month. You guys are keeping out of trouble.
Wow, that's good. And Tony's not here. Did you have anything that Tony would have sent to you, Christine?
Yeah, I thought. Oh.
Oh, there he is. I didn't know he was on.
I didn't either.
Go ahead, Tony. Is that what he said? Okay.
Yeah, but they,
Joint board reports. Do we have any joint board reports?
LaPorte County Board met last month. They're gonna do $25,000 more work on the Robins. LaPorte County is the smallest of the 4 counties. We've been paying in like $1,200 a year. And we're talking, those people have a $200,000 account. So we're really small now. LaPorte County paid in some $450 this year. I'm understanding it's because certain properties were assessed, but then when the property changes ownership, the assessment comes off. So it's kind of embarrassing for me, you know, I'm sitting on this board and we're paying $415 and these other people are paying $40,000 or something.
How is it that the assessment comes off, or what are they telling you there?
Well, Christine could be a little more probably verbal on this than me, but the way I understand it, the assessment's on the property gets sold, it's no longer on it because the new owner did not go through the
Procedure.
it can't be tagged on to the new owner without having public hearings and a new assessment.
Because when the assessments are, if there's a split or if there's a split on a parcel and the original number that the assessment was on no longer exists, there's no automatic method in the auditor's office to reapply that assessment to the split. It all has to be done by hand, and Indiana code specifies when you have a new owner, you're supposed to have hearings to notify them of the assessment on the property after they purchase it. So any adjustments that are done to any assessment, not just the Robins, but any of them, have to all be done by hand. And I told Hugh when this came up that I would take a look at, go through that whole assessment and try to figure out where the lack was of what normally comes in like $2,500 a year. I think this year we only got like $500 in. So I send that, whatever we get in, I send down to Stark County. But yeah, there's all the adjustments have to be done by hand.
Right.
And that would have had to come through that would also have to come through the joint board. If the joint board wanted to motion to have that stuff adjusted by hand, then they would notify us. Like I'm not gonna do the Robins just automatically because that's a joint board project.
But I guess why is this problem showing up specifically here? I mean, we have transfers of property, we have splits otherwise. Is it just as a new parcel number got created, the assessment just didn't get assigned to that new parcel number? It's not, new
Yeah,
land didn't get created, the land
Right.
was already assessed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I told Hugh, I've already gathered it, all the information together. I just have to sit down and go through the whole thing and figure out who got charged, who didn't get charged, what numbers are bad, where the parcel went. Something I have to sit down and
If it's something
Figure out.
if it's something I can help you with, especially with working with other county offices, let me know.
Okay.
Do they say?
2,500.
Our normal is.
Yeah, I mean, then
Our normal
also-
is 2,500.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, if everybody pays, which never happens, you're never gonna get that full amount that you think you're gonna get. There's always gonna be less. But yeah, that's significantly less. I understand that. And like I said, I've also have to sit down and go through that whole list and figure out what happened. So,
Well, I don't understand it, but if this scenario goes on, we won't have any ditch assessments, eventually, because all
Right.
property changes hands at some point.
yeah, it's only if the numbers get, like if the mother number gets split off then and lost and they don't retain that number, then you got a bunch of new numbers that don't have assessments on it.
But that sounds like bookkeeping within the county between real estate and the auditor's office, maybe the assessor's office, but really real estate where they do the split GIS, and then just
Yeah.
coordinating with them and making sure the assessment's
I don't know.
assigned to the new parcel number.
Right, and I don't know how other counties do it. At one point in time, probably 10, 15, 20 years ago, the auditor's office entertained the purchase of software of an add-on that's an add-on to Beacon that recalculates all of the assessments by hand, or not by hand, but automatically. And at that point, and I think Tony was here when we talked about that, nobody wanted to spend the money on it because it was, like $15,000 or something, and nobody wanted to pay for that, so it didn't get done.
Is that something you can check on for us, Brad?
And I don't know what other counties do.
Yeah, I'll work with Christine, but also check, I guess, with the auditor's office and see what they're doing with that.
But yeah, that was like 3 auditors ago. It's not our current administration.
Well, this board only meets about every 4 months, but they're gonna want an explanation.
I'll try to get you an explanation by next month.
Thank you.
Just make sure we keep it in the minutes, so when you meet with your board, you got it.
Okay, any other questions? Any other joint board reports? Seeing none, we'll go to claims.
Okay, I have 3 claims. Okay, first claim is for M&K Excavating for the Little Kankakee River. We had an emergency log jam removal at 350 South, and I was present at the time he took those out. So all the trees were removed from the channel. That cost was $2,200, and that comes out of that fund. There's money in that fund to cover that. Do you want me to do these one at a time?
We probably should.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to pay that claim to M&K for $2,200?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, second claim we have from Carl Netzer for the Webster ditch, and that work has been completed and inspected, and property owners are happy. And that amount is $4,850. That comes out of the McKellips Drain Fund.
And you've inspected all these, you said?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Do I have a motion to pay Metzger's from the Webster dish $4,850?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, third claim I have for the county line ditch, and that work's been done, and Bill Beaver's in the audience. So that work's been completed. We did have a request to do additional work from the property owner out there, which we went ahead and approved. And there's also another large tree that we discussed yesterday that needs to come out, but that you're gonna come back, I think, in like 3 or 4 weeks to take out till the end of the month. So at the end of the month, he's gonna come back and take another tree out that's south of 50 North.
And that's not in this claim?
That's not in this claim. This is for the original work for $5,000, and then we had a request to clean an additional half mile and some other tree removal, so, that extra work was $3,132. So we have a total of $8,132 to come out of the county line ditch fund to pay Bill Beaver for that work.
And there's funds available there?
And there's funds available for that.
So do I have a motion to pay Beaver for the county line ditch for $8,132?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Okay.
Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, that's it for claims. I have one thing under new business when we get to it.
Okay.
I can just go ahead and do
Yeah,
that
just
now
go
if
ahead and
you
go
want.
to the new business right now.
Okay, so Friday, I talked to John Coulter Sr., and he has had a ditch issue on the right arm of the Forbes ditch under Highway 6 in Westville. And he owns property to the south, and the property owner to the north is George Austin. So I went out and met with George yesterday morning, and he said over the weekend he found a beaver dam to the north that he was going to try to take care of himself, because I advised him that the right arm of the Forbes ditch is regulated, but there's no assessment on it. So any work that they would need to do would be at their expense. So they may initiate a cleaning through their own property on their own in the future at their expense. So we just wanted to make it part of the minutes that we had discussed this, and they'll probably be doing something themselves. So,
And they're taking care of the beavers too?
and they're gonna take care of the beavers themselves also. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other new business while we're right there?
I think that is all I have.
Okay. Public comment. Do we have any public comment today? Just come to the podium there and say your name.
John Sardison. Do you want my address also?
That's fine.
3306 West, 800 North. We got a notice in the mail yesterday that you're going to be spraying for vegetation along what I call Lye Creek, you call Bull Ditch, I believe. My question is, why do you want to get rid of the vegetation and increase erosion?
Okay, so I think I remember where you are. So just to back up, I got all the bank notices sent out last week. Just all 7 drains that we're gonna have sprayed, because we have a bank spray program every year. And it only treats everything but the grass, basically, and they don't kill like the big trees. But you're down, because I think I've talked to you a couple years ago, you're down
Yes.
on, 800 North.
Yes,
And you're on the west side.
immediately west of Springfield.
West side of the
Elementary.
ditch, yeah.
Yes.
And did we, what was,
You did not,
we skipped your part before,
you
right?
skipped our side of the ditch.
Do you want
when
us
you-
to skip your side again?
Yes,
Okay. We can skip
like you to
this.
skip both sides. The other side has eroded since they pulled all the trees out,
Okay,
and there's nothing left holding the bank up.
okay.
So if you come in and spray, nothing is going to grow to continue holding the bank.
Yeah, because I remember working with you in the past, and I think
Yes.
we skipped your portion. So we can do that again, and then we'll just have them deducted out of the total cost.
Is that south of 800? On the south side?
You're on-
Yes.
You're on the south side, 800.
That was
Yeah,
the
I
last
remember.
part. That was the last part, the last.
We own
clean
from
there.
800
Yeah, it's
down
on the tail
to
end.
almost to the South Shore tracks.
I remember
remember
exactly where you are. If you want to write your phone number or a contact on here for me, so I can get a hold of you if I need to, but I'll send our bank spray guy an email today and have him skip your part, because you're south of 800 on both sides of the ditch, right?
Not on both sides.
Just
You're
on the west?
side?
Correct.
Okay.
Because we cleaned the east side, correct? Didn't we?
Yeah, we clean off the east side there
Yes.
because you have a lot of woods on the
I
west
remember
side,
going
right?
out to look.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you.
Just
Now I'll
nice and
send
they-
Dalton an email today and
No.
let him know
That's
to,
the grass.
skip your side. so that's no problem. Thank you.
Is that all you had?
Now, could you answer the question on the erosion?
I could answer that. Why we'd want to kill the vegetation, you say nothing grows, that's not true. It's a contact spray, it kills the trees, and next year, 2 years, 3 years, the trees will be right back again. We're not killing the grass. For an example, we had a ditch that was 3.5 miles long. The bid on it was $68,000. Most of that was tree removal. We could have done the whole cleaning for $18,000. If you leave these ditches with the trees growing over them, you don't have a ditch anymore after a while. And then it's a balancing act because we have people that want drainage, we have people that want vegetation. And ultimately, the drainage is going to win. That's why we spray periodically, probably every third year, to keep the bushes and the beavers from plugging up the ditches.
We're still keeping the grass at the same time. It's only killing the brush. And the bigger trees is keeping.
The sprayer is bonded. If he makes a mistake, he has a bond. His chemicals are listed. They're aquatic approved. They don't hurt the fish.
Just to fill you in.
Thank you.
Do we have any more public comment? Any other business that you have, Christina?
I think I got everything covered.
You do? Okay. Our next meeting will be here Tuesday, May 10th at 8:30. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Meeting is adjourned.